Oh, hi there, everyone. It's been a while since I've made a video from my room. I've been away in the States for a couple weeks. I'm back now. Um, so I figured I'd bring up a topic because I had made a video on the product a couple weeks back, but some new developments of another nature have come about in this product. I talked about still drinking milk. Recently, Donald Trump had said that Canadian dairy farmers they were being unfair, and he said a lot of things. And basically, he said the American dairy farmers were getting shafted. Some American dairy farming areas don't agree with what Donald Trump has said. Some do. Um, the source I quickly read was from the Star. That was about 20 hours ago. They put up this little blog about it. I mean, I watched what he had to say on the TV. I read this quick blog just now. And the thing is, well, I was down in the States and I tasted American milk and cheese. And, like, I regularly eat, good cheese. I don't eat cheddar so much. Mostly Gorgonzola, Camzola, Rocket, that kind of stuff. I don't normally eat cheddar and that kind of junk, but I had noticed that the milk tastes better in Canada. Now, I don't know if that's because the Canadians do something specific with the milk, or is it the Americans that do something specific with the milk? Because a lot of the American milk I drank said non-GMO, no hormones, all this sort of stuff. And actually, typically, it's easier to make things taste better. And from a capitalist point of view, it's a better thing to do. So I don't actually know who's wrong. Because, I mean, American milk didn't, it's not like it tasted bad or anything. It just didn't taste as good. I don't know if that's because the Americans aren't adding stuff to make it taste better, or is it that they are adding stuff and it's making it not taste better. I don't know about that. That's something completely different from what Trump was talking about. Trump said that Canadian dairy farmers were behaving unfairly. And the thing is, yes, milk is an affordable price, but a lot of dairy products are not. As far as cheese goes, cheese is a complete ripoff in Canada, and I noticed in the United States that it is better priced. And the thing is, people, they look at this from such a simplistic point of view. They look at it as it's Trump attacking Canadian dairy farmers, therefore attacking Canadians on this subject. Well, as a Canadian, I do eat cheese, but I also don't benefit from a monetary perspective from dairy farmers. What do I care if Trump wants to renegotiate the mixed deals that have happened with Canadian dairy farmers and American dairy farmers? How is that a problem for me? I don't have invested interest in Canadian dairy farmers. Yes, cheese tastes good. Yes, yogurt tastes good. Yes, milk tastes good. But if Americans are making more money from that perspective, or the Canadians, it really isn't going to affect me either way. Now, that's not the typical Canadian opinion, because a lot of Canadians, as well as Americans, as well as everybody, from all walks of life, are powerfully ignorant. A fucking flag or a shirt, and that's enough to sway them. The way I look at it is, couple hundred miles down the road, it's another white guy. He might have some Mexican help with the dairy farming. I'm not going to get into that, but it's basically a white guy. So, like, what do I care if it's some white guy profiting who claims to be Canadian, profiting from me buying milk for them, or it's an American white guy profiting from my consumption of dairy? What do I care? I'm not making the money. And this is a tangled web. The website I looked at said Donald Trump didn't really know what he was talking about it. That is the popular theme with most things he talks about. But let's keep in mind that Barack Obama didn't mention this subject once. Keep that in mind. Donald Trump has brought up subjects that have been forgotten about by mainstream media. And then he's accused of not knowing what he's talking about. He's on television. He gives a narrative of what is to be talked about. It's an in-depth subject. It takes a long time to explain. This has been going on for decades. And some douchebag who just goes on the internet and looks it up, lickety-split, doesn't deserve to know everything. I don't deserve to know everything about it. I just quickly browsed through it and watched him on television the other day. If you really want to know about it, I'm sure you can find out. But to have this simple, dogmatic view that, he's saying Canadian farmers. He's saying Canadian farmers are abusing the system. I'm Canadian, therefore he's saying I'm abusing the system. No, he's not saying that. I don't work for the dairy industry, and I make no money off of it. So, as long as whatever goes on doesn't increase further the prices of the cheese and milk I drink, I don't care who's making the money. Of course, obviously, I would like to be making the money, but that's not going to happen either way. So, as long as the quality stays the same, maybe the price gets cheaper, that would be good. But if the price stays the same, doesn't matter to me if it's an American company, American dairy farmers, or Canadian dairy farmers. If the bottom line is nothing really changes for me, I don't care either way. Sure, some guy a couple hundred miles north of me is going to go, why you little, don't you have any patriotism and all that sort of stuff. But I'm talking on the internet where patriotism is ridiculed on a daily basis. Except when it's not common opinion. Like, not a single post of this is on Facebook from what I've seen. And there's a lot of things to take into consideration, like, milk, the dairy industry. It's not a very nice industry to begin with. For various reasons I'm not going to get into. But that means, am I supposed to care that some asshole north of the border is getting screwed out of this deal, as opposed to some asshole in the south maybe benefiting? Because let's not forget that so much has gone on as far as trade deals, this and that and the other. And the thing is, you'd be naive to believe that Canadians are not pricks about things, especially when it comes to business. Everybody is. If you see someone who has an advantage over someone in a business sense, it's probably because they're a prick. That's just the bottom line of business. So, if the king of the mountain tumbles down, and it doesn't affect me, I don't care. I wish I could say that, no, this is Canadian milk, I'm a Canadian, therefore I'm offended by what Donald Trump said. I wish it was that simple. But that's a very closed-minded and very narrow way of thinking of things. So I hope it all gets sorted out and deals get made better, and we just come to a better understanding. With a fresh perspective on things, a new president who's willing to engage the subject, I think it can only move forward in a positive direction. Not everyone's going to agree with me. That's perfectly fine. I don't have a problem with that. There's lots of intricacies I don't know about the dairy industry. But, just vaguely looking at it, I'm saying, as me, the consumer, if nothing changes for me, I don't care who's making the money. And, to each his own. You're allowed to have your own opinion. Anyway, just want to talk about that real quick about milk. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.